All right. All right. Are we live? Are we getting in here? Can you guys see me? Let me know if you can see me. Do we see it? Let me make sure the video's up. All right. Give me a second. Let me what I'm looking at. All right. You guys should be able to see me now. All right. We're here. We're here. People are rolling in. People are rolling in. Got my tea with a little bit of honey. Got some cough drops. We'll see how this goes. Obviously, I'm still sick, trying to get through it, but all right, we're going to let people roll in. Guys, this is absolutely insane. Get your questions, get your super chats. I'm watching everything as it's coming in. If we're still live when Trump's press conference comes on, we will put the press conference on the screen for you all, so you will be able to watch what is going on. You will have access to the most up-to-date information as it is coming in. I want to make sure that we have everything we need before we get started. It looks like you guys are coming in. So let me get this set up, taken care of, make sure everyone has what they need. All right, looks like we're good. All righty. Okay. We're just going to let a couple more people roll in. Here. Yes, I'm aware there's a photo of Maduro in custody. The problem is, so we just had Eagles fan Clark for $2 just sent a photo of Maduro in custody. I do not know if that photo is real. I have seen it. I'm waiting on confirmation. Guys, my DMs, first off, make sure you like the video. Go under the video, like it, so we can get this spread in the algorithm so as many people as possible can see it. Get active in the comments. Let's get active in the comments. Please make sure you are subscribed to the page. My DMs on Instagram, which you can see on the bottom of the screen, are open, and they're open on X. So David_Hookstead, XD Hookstead. That is where you can reach me if you have information. I am looking at the information. Okay, I see. Okay, we have another photo that might be real. We got to make sure we can confirm this. So I'm going to hold off on the photos for the second because we do not know what is real, and I do not want to spread any fake information. So we're going to hold tight. All right, everyone, let's keep getting in here. You guys are awesome in the comments. All right. We're going to start. Give me one quick second. Like I said, my throat's bad. If I cough a lot, just do me a favor. Understand, show a little grace. All right. Let's roll. Ladies and gentlemen, I can now announce to the world and to the American people that on the orders of American President Donald J. Trump, members of Delta Force, the Army's Tier 1 unit, along with the 160th SOAR, which is a special operations helicopter unit, entered Venezuelan airspace in the early morning hours of January 3rd, Saturday, January 3rd, and conducted an assault on Nicolás Maduro's fortress compound. A fierce gunfight broke out at the compound where Maduro's bodyguards were. It is believed that one helicopter was possibly hit in the attack, but President Donald Trump announcing on Fox News just moments ago that we had a couple wounded soldiers, but it is not believed any have died, and that the wounded soldiers are believed to be in good shape. The Delta Force team, armed with a variety of breaching tools, entered Maduro's fortress compound and engaged his security guards in what has been described and is believed to be a heavy gunfight. The gunfight likely resulted in the elimination of Maduro's bodyguards, which are believed to be of Cuban descent from Cuba. In that gunfight, Delta Force operators, at least a couple of them, were hit in the exchange of gunfire. At some point during the gunfight, and I want to make clear, it is believed they are fine and are going to make a full recovery. During that gunfight, according to President Donald Trump, Maduro tried to enter a bunker area of the fortress. He was not successful. They tried to open the door to get Maduro in, and Delta Force operators engaged the bodyguards and likely eliminated them. At this point, the Delta Force operators took Maduro into custody, loaded him on a helicopter, and flew him to the Iwo Jima amphibious carrier. He will now be transported to New York, where he will stand trial on an indictment of a variety of drug-related charges, terrorism-related charges, and weapons charges. So as of this morning, the dictatorship of Nicolás Maduro has fallen. I repeat, the day of liberation for the Venezuelan people has finally arrived. I've told you all for months that this was going to happen. In fact, I was the first one in the media who said we were going to go in. And I do have to say, a lot of people thought I would be wrong. They thought there was no way we would actually use military force inside Venezuela. Well, as of this day, the United States Special Operations, in what can only be described as a highly successful, highly daring raid, flew right into Caracas, landed on the X where Maduro was, engaged his bodyguards, eliminated the threat, and walked out, or flew out, I should say, with Maduro in custody. So this is a huge win, not just for the United States of America, but for the people of Venezuela. Vice President of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, is believed to have fled the country and is possibly in Russia. We do not know the location of Cabello, the military leader and Maduro's right-hand man, although he has made a television broadcast indicating he is alive. The Minister of Interior, according to unconfirmed reports, was eliminated. Another high-ranking official was possibly eliminated in the operation. So we have Maduro in custody. VP Delcy Rodriguez believes to no longer be in the country. The fate of the Interior Minister is unknown, and Cabello, who is a major figure in the Maduro regime, is assumed at this time to be alive. So this is massive news. Now I'm going to put on the screen for you. We have some absolutely insane footage that I want to show you. Let me get it ready to go. Give me a second. I hope my voice doesn't sound too bad for you. Where is it? We're going to pull it up. Give me 1 second. Here it is. I'm going to share my screen with y'all. This is footage of an American attack helicopter laying fire on a target. Oops. Sorry, guys, my voice. But this is footage of a attack helicopter smashing right there. See the helicopter laying fire. And we have more footage as well. Stick with me here. Give me a second. We're going to get you as much footage as we can. Give me a second here. We got a little bit of a tech issue, but we're going to push through it. We've got more footage we're going to show of the bombings. So right here, they bombed a military compound that you can see on the screen. We're going to go full screen.
Acaban de explotar el 4F.
Mira, mira. Eliminating that area. You can see the flames on the screen. So we've got more footage coming in. Hold on. Give me a second. There's a lot coming in, guys. So I'm going to try to get it to you the best I can. Here's more footage. This is of more helicopters engaging. You can hear the helicopters engaging right there. Here we go. Back here, we got more footage. That is of, let's see what we got. More airstrikes.
Se escuchan helicópteros. Son las 1:58 de la mañana. Están atacando el fuerte
targets burning throughout the country. And then here come the choppers. These are the choppers believed to be carrying the Delta Force operators on their way, maybe leaving with them. We don't know if they already got them or not. Multiple targets down. And then here, I think we have a good video. Yeah. So this was the destruction of a air defense system by the airport. So the U.S. military came in heavy and hard, blasted the air defense system around Venezuela. Hold on, I'm trying to get some stuff here. Around Venezuela, the airport. And as you're going to see in this video, they hit a SAM site that blew up. Right there. So that was a Russian missile defense system. And then right here, we have more missile defense systems that have been taken out. Massive, massive boom. Let's watch it again. And then right here, I think they've got a video of, yes, this is more footage of the helicopters with the Delta Force operators coming in. Complete domination. Look at all these last top rolling in. And then right here, we've got more explosions across the city. Right there, missile impact. Another missile impact. Another missile, 4 missile impacts. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it is a missile. You got 10. It is a missile barrage. Unreal. Okay, we have more footage right here of the Delta Force insertion team.
Huevo, qué locura.
These are the Delta Force operators.
Mierda, marico, se prendió el peo en esta mierda, oyó.
Look at all the explosions. I'm going to explain this when I pull this video off the screen real quick. Massive explosions rocking Caracas. Cruise missiles appear to be being used.
Marico, llegamos a tiempo a la casa, oyó.
Marico, mira esa mierda.
So let me see what we got here. This is the island where Venezuela keeps a lot of their air defense early warning systems. You're going to watch this island just get rocked in the distance. Look at the fireballs.
Ay, mamá, huevo.
Erga, se metieron los de la USA, papi. Los que tienen 14 años son más grandes que Kenia.
All right, I'm going to pull this off the screen real quick. And then I'm going to get into some super chats. But for those of you who are just joining us, make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the page. Get active in the comments. So for those of you who are just joining us and might have missed the start of the video, the United States has captured and in the process eliminated other Venezuelan bodyguards, military officials in a Delta Force raid. Delta Force is the Army's Tier 1 unit. It is the Navy counterpart to SEAL Team 6, the best operators in the world putting in work. The Delta Force team assaulted the fortress that Nicolás Maduro was staying in and conducted a direct action raid. Maduro attempted to flee into a bunker. A heavy gunfight broke out inside the fortress, resulting in the elimination of his security detail. He did not make it to the bunker. President Trump did say if he had, the Delta Force team had tools at their disposal to breach into the bunker and pull him out. In the process of the assault, it is believed a couple Delta Force operators were wounded. President Trump says they are in good condition and are expected to make it. So that means we have pulled off this operation without a single American dying. And two or three guys might be wounded, and a helicopter might have been clipped. But otherwise, we absolutely rocked them, absolutely destroyed them. So I am going to get your chats in. I'm going to go ahead and start getting into some super chats here real quick, trying to figure something out on the screen. And then we will get into this further as we do. Hold on one second. Sorry. In order, we're gonna make sure we're gonna go to change the live chat real quick. Some of you saying we got bots in it. I'm gonna change it so it's just subscribers. You got to be subscribed to the page for at least 20 minutes, and then you're gonna be able to get active in the live chat so that Maduro's Maduro's fanboys can't get in there. Okay, we got $5 from Captain Sasquatch. I told you they want to take him alive. And they did. They easily could have killed him. They easily could have gone in. The Delta Force team could have gone in and smoked him, and they didn't. They chose to take him alive. So just so for those of you joining us, the live chat is just subscribers now. You got to be subscribed for at least 20 minutes. That way we make sure the bots don't get in anything. I'm going to put it in a cough drop so I don't start coughing in front of y'all. All right. We got $10 from Private Pelnor. Where's the popcorn, brother? We've been waiting for this for so long. I know we have. And I was the guy in the media who told you all that this was going to happen. I told you it was coming. I told you we were going to do this. And here we are. We've got a new member, Derek Lawrence. Thank you very much. Sorry, another $5. Zoran Mondani is next. Yeah, well. This is the anniversary when we took out Soleimani and Noriega. $5 from Tony 2A Bet. We've got some new members coming in. Thank you very much. All USA is win, win, win. Correct. So the question is, what happens next? Hold on real quick. I'm going to be right back. Sorry about that, guys. Trying to get this cough under control. So the question is, what happens next? What does the USA do next in this situation? The honest answer is, I don't know if anyone knows. Maria Machado, who is the woman who is supposed to take over here, let me get this off the screen, is under U.S. protection. We know that. We know she's under U.S. protection. We know she is being kept safe. So they might try to move her into the country now. Under U.S. protection and get her to a safe location and take over. But I want to know what you guys think. Fire away in the comments. All right, guys. All right, what do we got? Okay. So, anyways, President Trump is expected to address the nation here in about 45 minutes or so. So, anyways, all right, guys, get active in the comments. My chest is killing me, so we might have to try to end this a little early. I thought I could push through. I don't know if I can. So anyways, I'm going to attempt a few more minutes here, but if I can't stop coughing, we're going to have to push through and see what we can do. But I do want to say that I, quite frankly, I'm not surprised that this happened this way. What did I always say? I said President Trump was not going to give an early warning. He was not going to tell everyone, oh, hey, this is when it's going to happen. That was never going to happen. This was always going to be like the Iran strike. You'd wake up. Do we have people being idiots in the comments? Let me know. We'd wake up one day and you would just turn on the TV and you would see that a bombing was underway. You would see that a strike had happened. And here we are. The United States has done it. Delta Force has done it. We got $19 from Miley Dog. Thank you very much. USA is the greatest nation ever. Correct. Without a doubt. Someone's saying ginger honey tea. That is literally what is in this mug. Literally what is in this mug. You know who should be really scared right now? You know who should be really, really scared right now? Is the Cuban dictatorship. The Cuban dictatorship, 1,000%, is propped up by Venezuelan oil, by Venezuelan resources. That is why the Cubans sent bodyguards to Maduro. And without Venezuelan oil, what are they going to do? How are they going to stay in power? Cuba could be next, could easily be next, without a doubt could be next. But I'm going to start throwing some comments up. What do we got here in the comments? All right. Air Force is the best branch. Well, this was conducted by the Army, and the Navy. I assume the Navy probably launched some Tomahawks. It looks like. All right, what do we got here? Thank you, sir. Awesome updates as always. Thank you very much. All right. U.S. Air Force rules. You got to take out the cartel before you put anyone in charge. Well, we got to get rid of Cabello wherever he is because he's going to try to lead a resistance. All right. Let's see if there's any updates that I can throw up on the screen for you. All right, we got some comments from President Trump. Let's watch this. This was from him on Fox News.
The team did an incredible job. They rehearsed and practiced like nobody's ever seen. And I was told by real military people that there's no other country on earth that can do such a maneuver. If you would have seen what happened, I mean, I watched it literally like I was watching a television show. And if you would have seen the speed, the violence, you know, they say that, the speed, the violence, they use that term. It's it was an amazing thing, an amazing job that these people did. There's nobody else could have done anything like it. The team
So
did an
right here, we
incredible
also
job.
have
They
another
rehearsed
report.
it.
I'm going to put this on the screen for you. Delcy Rodriguez, who is the vice president of Venezuela, reportedly is in Russia, has fled to Russia, according to Reuters. So that is where they are at. I'm getting updates as they're coming in. Cough seems to be sliding a little bit. All right, we've got, hold on here, Department of Justice. Stick with me. I want to see if they have the charges. So they have released Pam Bondi has released the unsealed indictment. I'm not going to get into the whole thing right now, but that's what it is. And let's see what we got for more updates. All right, so here you go. This comes from Alana Trenny. A team of FBI agents were with the U.S. Special Forces who carried out the operation. That would be FBI HRT. FBI HRT, of course, is the FBI's Tier 1. They are like the SEAL Team 6 Delta Force of the FBI. So we now know FBI agents were in on it. Guys, I can't believe I'm doing this, honestly, with how sick I am, but you guys are great. Okay, $20, Wolfpack rocks. I escaped the Nazi Cuba style. Cuba in a Cuba's always plotting the global left. The U.S. This is a step in the right direction for U.S. interests in our country. God bless Special Forces, Trump, and Marco Rubio. Hell yeah. Good for you for getting out of Cuba. That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. All right, getting some more stuff teed up here. Guys, we're literally getting information as it is coming in. All right, hold on. What do we got here? So we've got another clip from the Fox News interview. Hold on. We lost the ability to share audio. Hang tight. Hang tight. All right, let's listen to it.
100,000.
This is President Trump describing the moment that Nicolás Maduro was taken by Delta Force operators in Venezuela. Let's listen to what he had to say.
People a year. We don't lose that much in a war. Okay, if you look, and we had to do it. But he was in a house that was more like a fortress than a house. It had steel doors. It had what they call a safety space, where it's, you know, solid steel all around. He didn't get that space closed. He was trying to get into it, but he got bum rushed so fast that he didn't get into that. We were scared. We had, you know, massive blowtorches and everything else that you need to get through that steel, but we didn't need it. He didn't make it to that area of the house. It just was the right time to do it. We had to do it because it's a war. We're losing 300,000.
All right, so President Trump right there describing that they had blowtorches ready to go into Maduro's bunker if necessary, ready to go in and hit them. If he had gotten to the bunker, they would have blown the doors, clean off the bunker. And we are about 36 minutes away from President Trump addressing the nation. So, again, guys, I'm getting updates literally as they come in. So I'm looking as they are coming in. So, Trump, okay, here we go. Here we go. Trump is saying that a helicopter was dinged up, but the helicopter has made it back. So that is great news for our troops. All right, let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. What do you got in the comments? Chinese delegates were there as well in Venezuela. They were. They were. And it didn't make a difference. Did not make a single difference at the end of the day. So we actually waited for the Chinese to show up, and then we did this. Does anyone think that's an accident? How did they just allow us to capture Maduro without a fight? They literally got bullied on that video for $5 from Chris Green. Well, as I've said before, you don't want no part of dealing with Delta Force. You don't want no part of dealing with Delta Force. You know, people do not understand. People do not understand. Delta Force exists for this purpose. This is why Delta Force is a military tier 1 unit. It exists to go places other people cannot go and do things other people cannot do. They are the best trained direct action, CQB, counterterrorism, hostage rescue team. And then you have SEAL Team 6, which is the Navy's tier 1 counterpart. So let's talk about this for a second. Maduro talks all this shit. The military in Venezuela talks all this shit. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, what happens? Delta comes flying in on a bunch of helicopters, kicks their ass in a gunfight inside Maduro's fortress compound, and just starts rocking and rolling with the gunfire. I mean, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Delta Force, and listen, I'm not sitting here trying to brag, but I told you all for months exactly how this was going to go. There would be airstrikes that would cover. Whenever you go into a target, you want to soften it up with airstrikes. You want to go and bomb them, make sure the air defense systems are destroyed, and then you come in heavy with what you got, and then you land your troops. And the airstrikes give you cover to get your men on the ground, which is exactly what happened here. So let's see if we have more upcoming. Okay, what do we got here? Hang tight. So, okay, this is interesting. I'm going to put this up on the screen for you. So these are apparently 2 DOJ planes that are flying down to what appears Florida or Guantanamo Bay. And they will be taking into custody Maduro and his wife. Because remember, they got his wife too. So they'll be taking into custody Maduro and his wife in Cuba or possibly Florida. The fact that it helicopters is so unbelievable. All right, let's see what we got. Guys, again, I don't know if the photos of him are real, so I'm not going to show them right now. All right, where do we go? Put this on the screen for you. This is from Mary Margaret Olahan, good friend of mine, great woman. She is reporting from the summary of Trump's Fox News appearance saying so we wanted to go 4 days ago. We were going to do this 4 days ago at the start of the week, but we couldn't due to weather constraints. So 4 days ago, so that would have been Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. So we were going to do it the day before. We were going to do it on December 31st. New Year's Eve. That would have been wild. Then the weather opened up. Then we could go. Maduro got bum rushed so fast he didn't make it to the area of the house he was fleeing to, as we talked about. All right. What else do you guys got? Keep it coming. You guys are great. Glasgow Rangers beat the Celtics 3-1 today. Go Trump. Is that soccer? $5 from Mike G. Do you think Maduro got his phone call yet? I doubt it. Uh-oh, is my audio weird? Hold on. Let me check something. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'll reset it. Give me a second. All right. Is that better? All right. Let me know in the chat. I don't know what happened. It might just be the internet. Who knows? Maybe Maduro's people are after me. Maybe the Argentinian, sorry, not the Argentinians. The Venezuelans are trying to shut the stream down. So we're good now. I apologize. I didn't know that. Let me make sure I don't have anything running in the background. We good now? We good now? Tony 2A bet for $5. I guess all that dancing had his legs tired. Yeah, apparently. Wasn't able to run to the bunker. All right, let's keep it coming. I am rapidly checking updates here. To make sure we're not missing anything. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Venezuela might have planes in the sky. All right, Venezuela appears to have scrambled fighter jets. Venezuela appears to have scrambled fighter jets. Hold on. We've got fighter jets have been scrambled, according to a retro. Bolivarian military aviation active from Marseille and Barcelona. Keep in mind, guys, we still have ships in the region. So the Venezuelans have reportedly scrambled fighter jets. We do not know where they are going. So Venezuelan jets are in the sky. All right, what do we got? So the Venezuelans have put planes. The Venezuelans have put planes in the sky. They could be heading towards our naval ships. We don't know. I mean, guys, this is absolutely insane. So we've got $4.99 super sticker. Thank you very much. I'm going to pull this off the screen real quick. We flew into a foreign country, snatched the leader of that country, a terrorist, a narco terrorist. We literally flew in the middle of the night and just crushed the guy. That is insane. That is absolutely crazy. It's a reminder, if you come up against Delta Force you are going to get rolled 100 times out of 100 times. You are going to get rolled every single time you try to do it. It ain't going to work out well for you at all. Not even a little bit. So the updates are coming in. I'm trying to get the information the best I can to you all. So stick with me here. I'm doing my best. All right. So what do we got here? Let's see what the latest updates are. All right. So Maria Corina has released a statement. I'm going to put it on the screen for you all. She's saying Venezuelans. So this is Maria Machado, the woman that the Venezuelan public supports. She's the opposition leader. She says, as of today, Nicolás Maduro faces international justice for the atrocious crimes committed against Venezuelans and against citizens of the many other nations. Faced with his refusal to accept and negotiate exits, the government has fulfilled its promise to uphold the law. The time has come for popular sovereignty and national sovereignty to rule in our country. We are going to establish order, free political prisoners, build an exceptional country, and bring our children home. We have fought for years. We have given everything, and it has been worth it. What had to happen is happening. This is the hour of the citizens. Those of us who risked everything for democracy on July 28th, those of us who elected Edmundo Gonzalez Urra, I can't pronounce that, as the legitimate president of Venezuela, we must immediately assume his constitutional mandate and be recognized as commander-in-chief of the National Armed Forces by all officers and soldiers. Today, we are prepared to assert our mandate and take power. Let us remain vigilant, active, and organize until the democratic transition is finalized, a transition that needs all of us. To the Venezuelans inside our country, be ready to set in motion what will be very soon communicate to you through our official channels. To the Venezuelans abroad, we need you mobilized, activating the governments and citizens of the world, committing them starting now. Great operation of the building, the new Venezuela. In these decisive hours, receive all my strength, my confidence, my affection. We remain alert and in contact. Venezuela will be free. We go by the hand of God until the end. So that is a statement. That is a statement from Maria Machado. For those of you who don't know who Maria Machado is, I will show you. So this is Maria Machado, the woman on the left right here. She is the opposition leader in Venezuela. She is backed by the United States of America. And she will now assume, I believe she plans to be the vice president, but she is the face of the opposition to dictator Nicolás Maduro. We are about 22 minutes out from President Trump addressing the nation. I will air that live here for you. So stick with me. You can watch it right here. And I do want to say thank you to everyone who is understanding that I am not feeling well. I have a really bad cough. I have a really bad cold or some kind of chest infection. I don't know. But, you know, I texted someone. I said, I'm going live on YouTube. I'm going live on YouTube. And they're like, do you think you're healthy enough to do this? And I said, it doesn't really matter. The audience will know I'm sick. This is the biggest news of the Trump administration, and we're not gonna miss it. So even if I'm sick, we're still gonna do it. I appreciate you guys for sticking with me. All right, what else we got in the chat? I should go rub some dirt on it. Not sure I'm supposed to rub dirt on my lungs. Maria Machado needs bodyguards at all times. Probably does. And she'll have them. Hold on. All right, keep your chats coming. Super chats always get priority. We are 20 minutes out. We are 20 minutes out from the president addressing the country. Okay, hold on. We have a photo here. Put this on the screen. This allegedly is the site of a Russian supplied air defense system in Venezuela that has been completely destroyed. A Buk M2E SAM site right here, smoldering after an overnight strike in Venezuela. So let's see what more information we got coming in. Hold on. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. Put this on the screen for you. This allegedly is a U.S. RQ-1 stealth drone returning to Puerto Rico this morning. This is immensely rare footage of the drone spotted after supporting U.S. strikes in Venezuela. For what it's worth, I don't even think the government admits that this drone exists. Let's watch it. Uh-oh, hold on. Hold on. Hold on, I'm getting some information. Hold on, guys. This is breaking information about. I don't know if I can share this on air. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm getting some highly important information. I'm trying to fact check it. Sources are reaching out. Sources are reaching out. Okay, so we're going to go in. We're going to look for latest updates. We are 17 minutes out from President Trump addressing the nation. Okay, hold on. We got videos of the fighter jets in the air. The Venezuelan fighter jets are in the air, possibly headed towards our U.S. military ships in the region. You see the jets are right there. Venezuelan fighter jets are in the air. Venezuela fighter jets, I repeat, are in the air going to an unknown location. That's a Su-30 Russian-produced fighter jet. It is armed. I repeat, it is armed. You can see the missiles on the wings. We have Venezuelan fighter jets in the air bound for an unknown location. I am sure we are scrambling fighter jets of our own. So multiple airplanes, multiple Venezuelan airplanes have taken to the sky. I'm trying to get this information confirmed. I just received some massive information about what happened, but I need it to be confirmed before I share it with you all. So we now have confirmation multiple Venezuelan fighter jets have taken off and are going to an unknown location. All right, we're 15 minutes out from the president addressing the nation. I'm going to see if we can live stream it right here for you all. Hang tight with me. So there's nothing up yet, but we are about 14 minutes out. So keep sending your chats. Super chats obviously get priority. I am learning new information. I need to send a message real quick. Give me a second. Okay, so I'm trying to confirm the information best I can right now. All right, we've got more footage. Again, there are photos circulating of Maduro. I do not know if those are real, so I'm not going to share them just yet. Is my video still working well? Audio's good? Let me know in the chats. So, yeah, I mean, this is crazy. We'll watch it again. You can see fighter jet. Venezuelan fighter jet. If these fighter jets get anywhere near our boats, our ships, we need to sink them immediately. Immediately. Okay, hold on. Trying to see. The problem with a situation like this is you got a lot of information coming in. You got to make sure it's all real. Okay, so right here we have a look at a, hold on, I got to put this on the screen. Give me a second. We've got to look at a compound that has been struck. U.S. aircraft struck and damaged the El Vulcan Communications Complex just outside of Caracas, Venezuela. Massive fireball's been hit. Let's see if we have any new strike footage coming in. Give me a minute. Oh, wow. Some incredible footage here. This says the port of, where is it? The port, U.S. aircraft, the port of La Guaira in North Venezuela is ablaze tonight after a series of U.S. airstrikes. You can see the port right. Unreal. This footage is unreal. Hold on. New information coming in. New information is coming in. We've got $10 from Nancy. Thank you, David. Praying for you. Thank you very much. I'm praying for my health as well. All right, guys. I'm not going to repeat this information just yet because I cannot confirm it. I'm waiting on further information. I'm going to then find a feed of President Trump's news conference where we will then get into it. All right. Give me a second here. All right, let's get some more comments up on the screen. Pull this down. All right, what do you guys got? What do we got? The Chinese diplomats are there. We waited for the Chinese diplomats to show up. Then we smashed Maduro in a daring raid. Might have been sending a little bit of information to, might have been sending a little bit of a message to China there. Is my audio good? Can you guys still see me? Let me know if everything sounds good. I'm going to check it on my end, make sure it is. I don't know. We might be having some tech problems today. No, I think it's good. Is it good? Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know. How do we know it was Delta and not DevGru? How do we know it wasn't SEAL Team 6? Well, that's information that's coming in. That's information that is coming in. So we are looking at it right now. So you guys are saying the audio is good. Okay, good. The audio is good. All right, keep sending your chats. Make sure to like the video, guys. Like the video, subscribe to the page. If you subscribe to the page after 20 minutes today, you're able to comment. So go ahead and subscribe to the page. Like the video. It is hugely important. Get active in the chat. All right, I'm checking to see when this information is coming in. Come on, I need this guy to, I need a response here. All right. We got a new member, Nasty Nate. Thank you very much for becoming a member. All righty. I've kind of kicked the cough. We are 6 minutes away from the president addressing the nation. Okay, hold on. I'm going to put this up when it's ready to go. We will go live with the president's comments. You will be able to watch them right here on the channel. No need to go anywhere. Stick with me. Stick with me, folks. Keep your chats coming. President Trump is going live at 11 Eastern. Live at 11 Eastern. We are 6 minutes away. All right, what do we got here? Are people are saying they can't see me, but I should be fine. If Here, I'm just going to do a poll and we'll figure out whether or not this is working. I'm not putting up with this nonsense of people trolling in the chat. Not doing it. So give me a second. All right, I just did a poll. Vote in the poll. Let me know if the audio and video is working. It might be a YouTube problem because it looks fine on my end. David, I was kidding about the rub dirt on it. You're all right, man. Go Minnesota. I hate Minnesota, but I appreciate the kind words. I got my Badgers helmets behind me. $2. Mexico's president shitty bums is next. Maybe. All right, so we are waiting on the president to get in. I'm going to put it on the screen for you so you will be able to watch it right here. But I want to know, you guys let me know in the comments, what do you think about this operation? Do you support it? Do you think it was a good idea? All right, we got a new member in the chat. The president is coming here shortly. We are waiting on the president. President Donald Trump will address the nation. And we will see what he has to say. We shall see what the president has to say to the American public here in 3 minutes. We're 3 minutes out. So stick with me. This is what we've all been waiting for. I'm getting ready to go after Delta Force, possibly SEAL Team 6 involvement as well. Yeah, so 96% of you say my audio is fine. So the rest of you are just lying. The 4% is just lying. We're going to end that poll. We're going to do a new poll. All right, President Trump is not out there yet. So give me a second. Yes, Donald Trump called Fox. Yes, I know. I watched it. I watched his call with Fox. We saw it. Looks like 80 to 90% of the population are happy in Venezuela, so I guess it's okay then. Yeah, no, this is not going to be like Iraq. Like, Saddam had legitimate support in Iraq that then led to sectarian violence. The people of Venezuela hate Maduro. He stays in power by intimidation tactics and things of that nature. It's just that simple. We've got 40 or so Venezuelan antiquated fighters. They'll all be gone by tomorrow afternoon. Correct. All right, I'm going to check. Still have not heard back, so I'm not going to repeat that information. Let's see what we got here. All right, this is a video allegedly showing the Venezuelan military. Hold on, we'll do this. Thank you for all you do and the time you dedicate keeping us an alert in the know from the biggest Iowa Hawkeye fan. My fiance is an Iowa Hawkeye. Thank you for all you do. I hope you feel better. Thank you for all you do. I hope you feel better. Thank you, Nasty Nate. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to put this up on the screen. This comes from Visegrad 24 saying both Venezuelan soldiers and civilians start fleeing the Ferde Tiuna military complex in southwestern Caracas. They're running for their lives.
Esa vaina, mira. Ahí viendo. La gente, mira, cómo está la gente, ¿eh?
Absolute chaos. Look at them all trying to drive away.
¿Estás viendo?
Maduro said his army would fight to the last man. Maduro said that his people would fight guerrilla warfare style. All of a sudden, the U.S. comes in and they're driving away as fast as they can. The engineer for $5, still no U.S. casualties. President Trump announced that members of the Delta Force team that conducted the raid were injured, but that there were no U.S. casualties. No dead. There were a couple guys wounded. So they are literally running for their lives. I'm going to go put the pot of water on so that I'm ready to go to make another cup of tea when necessary. So stick with me, guys. Give me 30 seconds. I'll be right back. Then we'll have President Donald Trump's comments. Don't go anywhere. All right, I'm back. Hang tight. Hang tight. You squeeze in here. Oops. All right, I'm back. We got the water on so that I can get some more tea. All right, we'll pull this off the screen for now. Dude, these guys are going to be legends. No question about it. Chris Springer. Wow. Thank you very much, Chris. That is awesome. 139, I believe, Canadian. From Canada to your troops. God bless you. Thank you very much. $10 from Rene Pastrano. Maria will be the new president. Thank you for your coverage from Texas, USA. We got Kyle Erickson. Thank you for the best channel on YouTube. F around and pretty soon you won't be around, Maduro. 100% correct. Thank you very much. All right, what do we got? President still not out. President's running 4 minutes late. That's okay. I think after an operation like this, we'll allow it. I will be showing his comments right here for you all, so you can stay here and watch it. And guys, thank you so much for understanding that I'm not feeling well. I'm going to cough. My voice sounds bad. It is what it is. Wow, $49 from Dewey Teague. Not even a message. Thank you, Dewey. Thank you very, very, very much. I appreciate it. I'm trying. Hold on. Okay, I'm not going to repeat it. I received some information. Hold on. This is big. Hold on. Sorry, guys. So yes, I appreciate you all. I'm doing my best. You guys are here. We got 199, exactly 30 years since Panama. Yep. Since we got Noriega. Chris Spranger with a another 139. Dude, thank you very much. You guys are awesome. Believe it or not, this is not free to do. So I appreciate everyone who's willing to send a super chat. It means a lot. And it goes much further than you guys think. Helps keep the lights on. So thank you very much. All right. So President Trump is still not out there just yet. We are waiting on him. All right. What do we got here? Our military rocks. Oh, and our president. What a president. Yeah, our military's badass. Our military is badass. All right, let me check the latest updates. See what information we got coming in. Okay, we've got confirmation F-35s. F-35s were involved in the strike package. We have footage. I'm going to put this on the screen. F-35s returning to Puerto Rico after conducting their strikes on Venezuela. These are F-35s returning to Puerto Rico. After bombing Venezuela. Incredible. So those are F-35s that return. Get another $20. Impeccable coverage. Keep it up. Do you know how long it took to wreck Venezuela? I hope the Venezuelan people get a fresh and free start moving forward. Keep up the great work, brother, from M. Miller. The whole operation, I think, was over in like the span of like 90 minutes. We hit them with the cruise missiles. We hit them with the bombs. Then it was time so that the helicopter assault force, and for those of you who are just joining us, please make sure to like and subscribe. I will pull up the videos now of the strike force. For those of you who didn't see it, I will show you the video of the helicopters moving in. Let me find it. All right, it's right here. This is footage of the Delta Force operators moving in following the initial bombings coming. And if you're just here, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like the video. I appreciate all your support. You can see the helicopters coming in.
Ahorita a las 2:05 de la madrugada voy yo a la puerta.
And then right here, we have footage of an attack helicopter lighting up a target. So let's go ahead and watch this. So that is the footage we have from that. President Trump is now 10 minutes after he was supposed to speak to the country. Hold on. Making sure I'm getting the right info. Trying to get the right info here for everyone. Give me a second. Sorry. Information is coming in. It's coming in fast, and I want to make sure it's accurate. All those hype videos Maduro made just to be taken in less than an hour. Embarrassing for him. Yeah, well, that's the difference between having Delta Force and not having Delta Force, right? All right, what do we got? Go Night Stalkers? Hell yeah, the Night Stalkers are awesome. What do we got here? Everything good? President Trump is still not out yet. Still not out to address the country. I'm looking around. Seeing what, well, would it surprise you all to learn Democrats are livid? Democrats are releasing statements about how angry they are. So let's see what we got here. I'm wondering, and let me know in the chat, how close do you think they were to actually killing him? Like, because there, for those of you who are just joining and didn't see it, the operation went down. Delta Force storming the fortress he was in. A massive gunfight broke out. A massive gunfight ensued. A couple Delta Force operators were hurt, allegedly. And then Maduro tried to make a run to the bunker, couldn't get there in time. And then Delta Force snatched him and brought him out of the country, back to the United States. But in this gunfight, how close do you think he maybe was to getting clipped? I'd be very curious to know the answer to that. All right. So after 1,500 or so votes, 91% of you said you support the operation to get Maduro. President Trump still has not arrived. All right, keep sending the comments. As soon as President Trump appears, we will put it on the screen for you all to hear. They could see his every single movement. We knew where Maduro was the whole time. We knew where he was the whole time. We wanted him alive. We wanted to put him on trial. He tried to make a run for the bunker. Didn't make a difference. So he captured a terrorist and the Democrats cried. Literally what is happening. I didn't mean to put that one on the screen. That was an accident. Was it Delta Force or SEAL Team 6? All the reporting so far says it's Delta Force. I am working. I did get a tip. I don't want to get into it. The guy with the information is he knows what he's talking about, but I need it confirmed. So I'm not going to get into it further than that right now without confirmation. What are the next moves the U.S. will make in Venezuela? We will, Maria Machado. We've got the popular leader who the public loves. She is going to be put into a position of power. All right, what do we got? I think they will retaliate. If they do, it'll be the last thing they ever do. All right, I'm looking for more information as it's coming in. Let's see what we got. So we can now report that F-22s were used in the strike. Kevin says, I need Vicks and chicken noodle soup. I actually had some chili and was good. I got to be honest with you. So people are asking, does the military get the $50 million bounty? They would not. They would not. The bounty only goes to someone not in an official military capacity. That's why when SEAL Team 6, that's why when SEAL Team 6 got Bin Laden, they obviously didn't get the money because they're on an official mission. DEA and A Squadron missed late night helo rides. So this guy's saying A Squadron at Delta Force did. Wouldn't surprise me. I know some A Squadron guys, good dudes. Tony, 2A bet. We'll have to keep a presence there to make sure a vacuum doesn't form. I don't know. I don't know if we do because Machado is incredibly popular, and I'm not sure she's going to face many risks from people there. All right. Okay, we've got some more footage. I'm going to put this on the screen for you. This is apparently the moment the bombs first fell in Venezuela. This is apparently the capture the moment it happened.
¿Qué hizo? ¿Por qué vieron acá? Vámonos.
Ya, Luisana, ya. Esos son bombas, ya.
Llama esto.
Ya va.
Vámonos. ¡Ey!
Ya, Luisana, ya.
¿Qué es eso?
Esos son bombas.
¿Qué es eso?
This is the moment the first bombs fell.
Ay, Dios mío, ¿qué es eso? Mira, Gabriel, dame el teléfono, papá. Ay, Dios mío.
Look at the shock and awe.
Mira cómo se fue la luz allá, ve.
Ya, normal.
Hoy fue.
No, ¿qué hacemos? Vámonos. No.
¿Para dónde nos vamos a ir? ¿Para dónde nos vamos a ir?
Estamos cayendo en la No.
That's crazy. So that what you just saw is the moment the first bombs fell. M. Miller saying, anytime Democrats are mad, we did the right thing. Oh, and chef's kiss for booming Hugo on the way out. Yes, we bombed Hugo Chavez's grave, for those of you who didn't see it. Thank you for your continued coverage. Big fan. Thank you very much for watching. So right now, guys, we are just waiting for President Donald Trump to address the nation, which you will be able to watch right here. All right, we have celebrations in the street of Venezuela. I'm going to put this on the screen. The people of Venezuela wake up celebrating. You can hear their cheers. They're chanting USA. Guys, this almost brings me to tears. That almost brings me to tears. These people have lived under the boot of Maduro and before that Chavez, robbing the country blind. Just a terrible, oppressive system where political prisoners are killed or put in the worst conditions possible. And now Venezuelans, millions of Venezuelans are waking up across the country to news that the dictator is gone and their day of liberation has arrived. The day of liberation in Venezuela has arrived. So I'm going to check to see my latest tips that are coming in. Stay with me here. I'm literally getting information on my phone right now. All right, hang tight. Hang tight. Still can't repeat it just yet. Can't repeat it just yet. Okay, we've got some more information coming in. So the Venezuelan regime is now threatening total war against the United States. We'll see if they actually follow through on that. Somehow I doubt it. Hold on. I just got a big thing. I'm going to see if it's repeatable. I'm checking. The military might be taking to the streets. The military in Venezuela might be taking to the streets. This is coming in rapidly. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Thank you, President Trump, Delta Force, and the U.S. military. Okay, hold on. Hang tight, everyone. Hang tight. All right, I can tell you based off of a tip I have just received, the Venezuelan military is on the streets checking people's phones, seeing who they are communicating with. They are trying to lock the country down. People are scrambling. All right, stay with me. It appears the Venezuelan military is trying to put down the celebrations. We are still waiting on President Donald Trump. He was supposed to speak at 11. It is now 11:23. Hold on. Stick with me. I can hear the water going. So I'm going to pour myself another cup of tea. I'll be back in 1 or 2 minutes. Don't leave. Got to figure out how to get out first. I'll be back. Going to get some more tea for the old throat. All right, we're back. All right, we're back. Appreciate it, guys. Had to get a little more tea. You know how it goes. All right. Again, I appreciate you guys understanding that I'm not doing great. Get your super chats in. Super chats obviously always get priority. We are still waiting for President Donald Trump's press conference to begin. Okay, we got some more footage here to share from a retro. A Venezuelan communication system was blown up. We see the aftermath. See the bombing that hit it. All righty. President Trump is taking his time. So we're waiting for President Donald Trump. You will be able to watch that here. All right, let's check for the latest updates. All right, hold on. We have a photo of Maduro. Hold on. This could be real. Hold on, everyone. Hang tight. This could be real. This could be real. Hold on. Stay with me here. We have it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have it. I repeat, we have it. We have a photo of Nicolás Maduro post-capture. Stay with me here. This is incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to announce we have a photo of Nicolás Maduro in U.S. custody. There it is, folks. There it is. That is Dictator Nicolás Maduro in custody. Hold on, guys. This is incredible. Let me know what you think of the photo in the chat. This is real. I can confirm this is real. Oh, that's an incredible photo. They've got him blindfolded. They've got him earmuffs on. There it is, folks. That is Nicolás Maduro aboard the Iwo Jima. That is not AI. That is a photo shared by the President of the United States. Hold on. President Donald Trump has released more footage of the attack. Get active in the comments, guys. Get your super chats in. Hold on. He posted more footage of the attack. I'm going to put this on the screen. Give me a moment. All right. I got to pull this down first. This is footage shared by President Donald Trump. Oh, it's got a copyrighted song, so I'm going to have to mute it. But this is footage. This is directly from President Donald Trump. You see helicopters, flashes in the sky, bombs hitting. Flashes from the bombs. More bombings. This is the helicopter video we already saw. All right, let's put Maduro back on screen. All right, we are still waiting for President Donald Trump. So, what we have here, let's see what we got in the comments. All right, what do we got? Got someone watching from Trinidad. All right, get your chats in. Cuffs and blindfold looks great on him. I like it. Not dancing anymore. No, he's not. Put a MAGA hat on Maduro. That would be hilarious. Actually, someone has to do that. No, we have no updates on the jets that took off from Venezuela. We do not know where they are. President Trump's, again, was supposed to speak at 11. It's now 11:32. We are waiting on him. What do we got here? What the F just happened? I literally just woke up. We got Maduro. We got Maduro. That's what happened. We got our guy. Ladies and gentlemen, Maduro is down. So for those of you who are just joining us, Nicolás Maduro captured in a Tier 1 special operations raid conducted by the United States military after a massive night of bombing targets in Caracas, lighting it up, absolutely destroying his military capabilities. Tier 1 operators swooped in, grabbed Maduro, put him in on a helicopter, and flew him out to the Iwo Jima, the amphibious assault carrier. And now he is on his way to the United States, where he will be arraigned as the terrorist leader that he is. So keep your chats coming in. We got plenty more to discuss. So I just got a text from my fiance that we're going to be heavily involved with securing the oil in Venezuela, which is good for the United States, and it's really bad for China. China's entire war machine is dependent on Venezuelan oil, and now they don't have it. So hold on. I'm checking some stuff here real quick. Settings. All righty. So we are waiting for President Donald Trump. Let's see what we got on the screen. So why is it important that we are taking the Venezuelan oil? It is important because China imports a lot of their oil from Venezuela. And China is planning to start a massive war in Asia, in the South Pacific, in the South China Sea. And if you want to fight a huge war against the entire region, you need a lot of oil to do it. How do you make sure you can't let them fight a war? Don't let them have the oil. So that is what we are doing. We are going after the oil, and we are making sure they do not have it. So that is a strategic move we are making. This disrupts China's Taiwan invasion. Yes, it does. Huge. Huge. Trump just crippled China. Yeah, this is a huge blow to China. Taiwan just got a breather. They did. All right, we're looking for latest updates. See what we got coming in. We are still waiting for President Donald Trump to address the nation. What a crazy way to start a Saturday morning. I can't, this photo is incredible. Watching from Trinidad and Tobago, great job, David. Thank you very much. Who's running the military right now in Venezuela? It's Cabello, who appears to have survived the strikes. All right, we are still waiting on President Donald Trump to arrive at his press conference. All right, I'm looking for updates. Looking for updates as we have them. All right, what do we got? We got Brian Schneider, $20. Delta Force was the main element. SEAL Team 6 was support. God bless you. Thank you for continuing hard work. And I'm going to try to dive deeper and find out the injury report. I've heard that both units were used, that Delta Force and SEAL Team 6 were both involved in the operation. Trump is now about 40 minutes behind as we sit here and wait for his comments to the nation. But we're hanging out together, which is the fun part. Venezuelans need to keep the momentum going, not just the U.S. Well, the military is on the street, apparently, trying to shut down any celebrations. All right, here we go. What do we got? Maduro is feeling some of what he's been causing other people to feel. Great job to our military. Here we go. Hold. President Trump has arrived. I'm putting it on the screen now. Here we go. President Trump is now addressing the nation.
Since World War II. It was a force against a heavily fortified military.
I'm going to rewind it so you don't miss it.
We appreciate you being here. Late last night and early today, at my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault. And it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolás Maduro to justice, This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history. And if you think about it, we've done some other good ones like the attack on Soleimani, the attack on al-Baghdadi, and the obliteration and decimation of the Iran nuclear sites just recently in an operation known as Midnight Hammer, all perfectly executed and done. No nation in the world could achieve what America achieved yesterday, or frankly, in just a short period of time. All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military, working with U.S. law enforcement, successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night. It was dark. The lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain expertise that we have. It was dark and it was deadly. But captured along with his wife, Celia Flores, both of whom now face American justice. Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York. It's Jay Clayton, for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens. I want to thank the men and women of our military who achieved such an extraordinary success overnight with breathtaking speed, power, precision, and competence. You rarely see anything like it. You've seen some raids in this country that didn't go so well. They were an embarrassment. If you look back to Afghanistan, or if you look back to the Jimmy Carter days, they were different days. We're a respected country again, like never before. These highly trained warriors operating in collaboration with U.S. law enforcement caught them in a very ready position. They were waiting for us. They knew we had many ships out in the sea, just sort of waiting. They knew we were coming. So they were in what's called a ready position, but they were completely overwhelmed and very quickly incapacitated. If you would have seen what I saw last night, you would have been very impressed. I'm not sure that you'll ever get to see it, but it was an incredible thing to see. Not a single American service member was killed, and not a single piece of American equipment was lost. We had many helicopters, many planes, many people involved in that fight. But think of that, not one piece of military equipment was lost, not one service member was, more importantly, killed. The United States military is the strongest and most fearsome military on the planet by far, with capabilities and skills our enemies can scarcely begin to imagine. We have the best equipment anywhere in the world. There's no equipment like what we have. And you see that even if you just look at the boats. You know, we've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by sea. 90%. Each boat kills on average, 25,000 people. We knocked out 97%. And those drugs mostly come from a place called Venezuela. We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious, because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela. And that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind. We've had decades of that. We're not going to let that happen. We're there now, and what people don't understand, but they understand as I say this, we're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it essentially until such time as a proper transition can take place. As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. And we are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so. So we were prepared to do a second wave if we needed to do so. We actually assumed that a second wave would be necessary, but now it's probably not. The first wave, if you'd like to call it that, the first attack was so successful, we probably don't have to do a second, but we're prepared to do a second wave, a much bigger wave, actually. This was pinpoint, but we have a much bigger wave that probably won't have to do. This partnership of Venezuela with the United States of America, a country that everybody wants to be involved with because of what we were able to do and accomplish, will make the people of Venezuela rich, independent, and safe. And it will also make the many, many people from Venezuela that are living in the United States extremely happy. They suffered. They suffered. So much was taken from them. They're not going to suffer anymore. The illegitimate dictator Maduro was the kingpin of a vast criminal network responsible for trafficking colossal amounts of deadly and illicit drugs into the United States. As alleged in the indictment, he personally oversaw the vicious cartel known as Cartel de las Solas, which flooded our nation with lethal poison, responsible for the deaths of countless Americans, the many, many Americans, hundreds of thousands over the years of Americans died because of him. Maduro and his wife will soon face the full might of American justice and stand trial on American soil. Right now, they're on a ship. They'll be heading to ultimately New York, and then a decision will be made, I assume, between New York and Miami or Florida. But we have people where the overwhelming evidence of their crimes will be presented in a court of law. And I've seen it. I've seen what we have. It's both horrible and breathtaking that something like this could have been allowed to take place. For many years after his term as president of Venezuela expired, Maduro remained in power and waged a ceaseless campaign of violence, terror, and subversion against the United States of America, threatening not only our people, but the stability of the entire region. And you all saw it. In addition to trafficking gigantic amounts of illegal drugs that inflicted untold suffering and human destruction all over the country, all over, in particular, the United States, Maduro sent savage and murderous gangs, including the bloodthirsty prison gang, Tren de Aragua, to terrorize American communities nationwide. And he did indeed. They were in Colorado. They took over apartment complexes. They cut the fingers off people if they called police. They were brutal, but they're not so brutal now. And I just have to congratulate our military, Pete and everybody, and our National Guard, because the job that they've done, whether it's in Washington, D.C., where we have a totally safe city, where it was one of the most unsafe cities anywhere in the world, frankly, and now we have no crime in Washington, D.C. We haven't had a killing. We had the terrorist attack a few weeks ago. A little bit of a different kind of a threat, but we haven't had a killing in a long period of time, 6-7 months. We used to have two, on average, 2 a week in Washington, our capital. We don't have that anymore. The restaurants are opening. Everyone's happy. They're going, they're walking their daughters, they're walking their children, their wives. They walk to restaurants. Restaurants are opening all over Washington, D.C. So I want to thank the National Guard. I want to thank our military. And I want to thank law enforcement. Been amazing. And they should do it with more cities. We're doing it, as you know, and we're doing it in Memphis, Tennessee right now, and crime is down. We've just sort of started a few weeks ago, but crime is down now 77%. And the governor of Louisiana called, great person, and he wanted us to help him, as you know, in a certain very nice part of Louisiana. And we have done that. And it was a rough section, and we have crime down. I understand it's down to almost nothing already after 2.5 weeks. New Orleans, it's down to almost nothing. And we've only been there for 2.5 weeks. Can't imagine why governors wouldn't want us to help. We also helped, as you know, in Chicago, and crime went down a little bit there. We did a very small help because we had no working ability with the governor. The governor was a disaster and the mayor was a disaster, but it knocked down crime. But we're pulling out of there. When they need us, we'll know. You'll know. You'll be writing about it. And likewise, Los Angeles, where we saved Los Angeles early on, where the head of the police department made a statement that if the federal government didn't come in, we would have lost Los Angeles. That's long after the fires. That's when they had the riots in Los Angeles. We did a great job. Got no credit for it whatsoever, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. We don't need the credit. But we'll be pulling out when they need us. They'll call, or we'll go back if we have to. We'll go back. But we did a great job in various cities. But the place that we're very proud of is Washington, D.C., because it's our nation's capital. We took it from being a crime-ridden mess to being one of the safest cities in the country. But the gangs that they sent raped, tortured, and murdered American women and children. They were in all of the cities I mentioned. Aragua. And they were sent by Maduro to terrorize our people. And now Maduro will never again be able to threaten an American citizen or anybody from Venezuela. There will no longer be threats. For years, I've highlighted the stories of those innocent Americans whose lives were so heartlessly robbed by this Venezuelan terrorist organization. Really one of the worst. One of the worst, they say the worst. Americans like 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungari from Houston. Beautiful Jocelyn Nungari, what happened to her? They, as you know, they kidnapped, assaulted, and murdered by Aragua animals. They murdered Jocelyn and left her dead under the bridge. There was a bridge that will never be the same to so many people after seeing what happened. As I've said many times, the Maduro regime emptied out their prisons, sent their worst and most violent monsters into the United States to steal American lives. And they came from mental institutions and insane asylums. They came from prisons and jails. The reason I say both, they sound similar. Actually, prisons, a little bit more hostile, a little bit tougher. A mental institution isn't as tough as an insane asylum, but we got them both. They sent from their mental institutions. They sent from their jails, prisons. They were drug dealers. They were drug kingpins. They sent everybody bad into the United States, but no longer. And we have now a border where nobody gets through. In addition, Venezuela unilaterally seized and sold American oil, American assets, and American platforms, costing us billions and billions of dollars. They did this a while ago, but we never had a president that did anything about it. They took all of our property. It was our property. We built it. And we never had a president that decided to do anything about it. Instead, they fought wars that were 10,000 miles away. We built Venezuela oil industry with American talent, drive, and skill, and the socialist regime stole it from us during those previous administrations, and they stole it through force. This constituted one of the largest thefts of American property in the history of our country. Considered the largest theft of property in the history of our country. Massive oil infrastructure was taken like we were babies, and we didn't do anything about it. I would have done something about it. America will never allow foreign powers to rob our people or drive us back into and out of our own hemisphere. That's what they did. Furthermore, under the now deposed dictator Maduro, Venezuela was increasingly hosting foreign adversaries in our region and acquiring menacing offensive weapons that could threaten U.S. interests and lives. And they used those weapons last night. Potentially in league with the cartels operating along our border. All of these actions were in gross violation of the core principles of American foreign policy, dating back more than 2 centuries, and not anymore. All the way back, it dated to the Monroe Doctrines. And the Monroe Doctrine is a big deal, but we've superseded it by a lot. By a real lot. They now call it the Donroe Document. I don't know. It's Monroe Doctrine. We sort of forgot about it. It was very important, but we forgot about it. We don't forget about it anymore. Under our new national security strategy, American dominance in the Western Hemisphere will never be questioned again. Won't happen. So just in concluding, for decades, other administrations have neglected or even contributed to these growing security threats in the Western Hemisphere. Under the Trump administration, we are reasserting American power in a very powerful way in our home region. And our home region is very different than it was just a short while ago. The future will be, and we did this in my first term. We had great dominance in my first term, and we have far greater dominance right now. Everyone's coming back to us. The future will be determined by the ability to protect commerce and territory and resources that are core to national security. These are core to our national security. Just like tariffs are, they've made our country rich, and they've made our national security stronger than ever before. But these are the iron laws that have always determined global power. And we're going to keep it that way. We will secure our borders. We will stop the terrorists. We will crash the cartels, and we will defend our citizens against all threats, foreign and domestic. Other presidents may have lacked the courage or whatever to defend America, but I will never allow terrorists and criminals to operate with impunity against the United States. This extremely successful operation should serve as warning to anyone who would threaten American sovereignty or endanger American lives. Very importantly, the embargo on all Venezuelan oil remains in full effect. The American Armada remains poised in position, and the United States retains all military options until United States demands have been fully met and fully satisfied. All political and military figures in Venezuela should understand what happened to Maduro can happen to them, and it will happen to them if they aren't just, fair, even to their people. The dictator and terrorist, Maduro, is finally gone in Venezuela. People are free. They're free again. It's been a long time for them, but they're free. America is a safer nation this morning. It's a prouder nation this morning because it didn't allow this horrible person and this country that was doing very bad things to us. It didn't allow it to happen. And the Western Hemisphere is right now a much safer place to be. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank General Raisin Kane. He's a fantastic man. I've worked with a lot of generals. I worked with some I didn't like. I worked with some I didn't respect. I worked with some that just weren't good. But this guy is fantastic. I watched last night one of the most precise attacks on sovereignty. I mean, it was an attack for justice. And I'm very proud of him. And I'm very proud of our Secretary of War, Pete Hookstead, who I'm going to ask to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Here comes Hookstead.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Finally, a commander in chief the world respects and the American people deserve. And as the president said, words can barely capture the bravery and the power and the precision of this historic operation, a massive joint military and law enforcement raid flawlessly executed by the greatest Americans our country has to offer. American warriors are second to none, the best in the world and the best of our country. What all of us witnessed last night was sheer guts and grit, gallantry, and glory of the American warrior. I'm simply humbled by such men. And I tip my hat to our chairman, Dan Raisin Kane, and all those Americans who stood watch last night. Our warriors are the elite of America. And again, President Trump has your back. No other country on planet Earth, and it's not even close, could pull this kind of operation off. And no other president has ever shown this kind of leadership, courage, and resolve, the most powerful combination the world has ever seen. As the president said, our adversaries remain on notice. America can project our will anywhere, anytime. The coordination, the stealth, the lethality, the precision, the very long arm of American justice, all on full display in the middle of the night. Nicolás Maduro had his chance, just like Iran had their chance, until they didn't and until he didn't. He effed around and he found out. President Trump is deadly serious about stopping the flow of gangs and violence to our country. Deadly serious about stopping the flow of drugs and poison to our people. Deadly serious about getting back the oil that was stolen from us. And deadly serious about reestablishing American deterrence and dominance in the Western Hemisphere. This is about the safety, security, freedom, and prosperity of the American people. This is America first. This is peace through strength. And the United States War Department is proud to help deliver it. Welcome to 2026. And under President Trump, America is back. I'd like to welcome now our chairman, Chairman Raisin Kane, to give a few more details about the operation. Mr. Chairman.
Here comes the chairman of the Joint Chiefs.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thank you, Mr. President, and good morning. Last night, on the order of the President of the United States and in support of a request from the Department of Justice, as the President said, the United States military conducted an apprehension mission in Caracas, Venezuela, to bring to justice two indicted persons, Nicolás and Cecilia Maduro. This operation, known as Operation Absolute Resolve, was discreet, precise, and conducted during the darkest hours of January 2nd and was the culmination of months of planning and rehearsal, an operation that, frankly, only the United States military could undertake. What I'd like to do this morning is talk to you through some of the preparation and the details without compromising any of our tactics, techniques, and procedures. There is always a chance that we'll be tasked to do this type of mission again. Our interagency work began months ago and built on decades of experience of integrating complex air, ground, space, and maritime operations. While the past 2 decades have honed the skills of our special operations forces, this particular mission required every component of our joint force, with soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Guardians working in unison with our intelligence agency partners and law enforcement teammates in an unprecedented operation. We leveraged our unmatched intelligence capabilities and our years of experience in hunting terrorists. And we could not have done this mission without the incredible work by various intelligence agencies, including the CIA, NSA, and NGA. We watched, we waited, we prepared, We remained patient and professional. This mission was meticulously planned, drawing lessons from decades of missions over the last many years, many missions over these last many years. This was an audacious operation that only the United States could do. It required the utmost of precision and integration within our joint force. And the word integration does not explain the sheer complexity of such a mission. An extraction so precise, it involved more than 150 aircraft launching across the Western Hemisphere in close coordination, all coming together in time and place to layer effects for a single purpose: to get an interdiction force into downtown Caracas while maintaining the element of tactical surprise. Failure of one component of this well-oiled machine would have endangered the entire mission, and failure is never an option for America's joint force. Those in the air over Caracas last night were willing to give their lives for those on the ground and in the helicopters. Let me talk a little bit about the preparation. After months of work by our intelligence teammates to find Maduro and understand how he moved, where he lived, where he traveled, what he ate, what he wore, what were his pets, in early December, our force was set pending a series of aligned events. Key was choosing the right day to minimize the potential for civilian harm and maximize the element of surprise, and minimize the harm to the indicted personnel, so as the president said, they could be brought to justice. And as the president said earlier today, weather in Venezuela is always a factor this time of the year. And over the weeks through Christmas and New Year's, the men and women of the United States military sat ready, patiently waiting for the right triggers to be met and the president to order us into action. Last night, the weather broke just enough, clearing a path that only the most skilled aviators in the world could maneuver through. Ocean, mountain, low cloud ceilings. But when tasked with a mission, this organization does not quit. At 10:46 p.m. Eastern time last night, the president ordered the United States military to move forward with this mission. He said to us, and we appreciate it, Mr. President, good luck and Godspeed. And those words were transmitted to the entire joint force. Over the course of the night, aircraft began launching from 20 different bases on land and sea across the Western Hemisphere. In total, more than 150 aircraft, bombers, fighters, intelligence, reconnaissance, surveillance, rotary wing were in the air last night. Thousands and thousands of hours of experience were airborne. Our youngest crew member was 20, and our oldest crew member was 49. And there's simply no match for American military might. As the night began, the helicopters took off with the extraction force, which included law enforcement officers, and began their flight into Venezuela at 100 feet above the water. As they approached the Venezuelan shores, the United States began layering different effects provided by Spacecom, Cybercom, and other members of the interagency to create a pathway. Overhead, those forces were protected by aircraft from the United States Marines, the United States Navy, the United States Air Force, and the Air National Guard. The force included F-22s, F-35s, F-18s, EA-18s, E-2s, B-1 bombers, and other support aircraft, as well as numerous remotely piloted drones. As the force began to approach Caracas, the Joint Air Component began dismantling and disabling the air defense systems in Venezuela, employing weapons to ensure the safe passage of the helicopters into the target area. The goal of our air component is, was, and always will be to protect the helicopters and the ground force and get them to the target and get them home. As the force crossed the last point of high terrain where they'd been hiding in the clutter, we assessed that we had maintained totally the element of surprise. As the helicopter force ingressed towards the objective at low level, we arrived at Maduro's compound at 1:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 2:01 a.m. Caracas local time, and the apprehension force descended into Maduro's compound and moved with speed, precision, and discipline towards their objective, and isolated the area to ensure the safety and security of the ground force while apprehending the indicted persons. On arrival into the target area, the helicopters came under fire, and they replied with that fire with overwhelming force in self-defense. One of our aircraft was hit, but remained flyable, and as the president said earlier today, all of our aircraft came home, and that aircraft remained flyable during the rest of the mission. As the operation unfolded at the compound, our air and ground intelligence teams provided real-time updates to the ground force, ensuring those forces could safely navigate the complex environment without unnecessary risk. The force remained protected by overhead tactical aviation. Maduro and his wife, both indicted, gave up and were taken into custody by the Department of Justice, assisted by our incredible U.S. military with professionalism and precision, with no loss of U.S. life. After securing the indicted persons, the force began to prep for departure. Helicopters were called in to exfiltrate the extraction force, while fighter aircraft and remotely piloted aircraft provided overhead coverage and suppressive fire. There were multiple self-defense engagements as the force began to withdraw out of Venezuela. The force successfully exfiltrated and returned to their afloat launch bases, and the force was over the water at 3:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with indicted persons on board. And both Maduro and his wife were embarked aboard the USS Iwo Jima. In closing, what we've witnessed today is a powerful demonstration of America's joint force. We think, we develop, we train, we rehearse, we debrief, we rehearse again and again, not to get it right, but to ensure that we cannot get it wrong. Our jobs are to integrate combat power so when the order comes, we can deliver overwhelming force at the time and the place of our choosing against any foe anywhere in the world. I am immensely proud today of our joint force and filled with gratitude to represent them here today. There is simply no mission too difficult for these incredible professionals and the families that stand by them and support them. As we stand here this morning, our forces remain in the region at a high state of readiness, prepared to project power, defend themselves, and our interests in the region. This operation is a testament to the dedication and unwavering commitment to justice and our resolve to hold accountable those who threaten peace and stability. In closing, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to the brave men and women who executed this mission. Their courage and tireless commitment to our nation are what makes us strong. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, and thank you, Mr. President.
Well, I don't have much to add to what you've heard now, other than the following points. Nicolás Maduro was indicted in 2020 in the United States. He is not the legitimate president of Venezuela. That's not just us saying it. The first Trump administration, the Biden administration, the second Trump administration, none of those three recognized him. He's not recognized by the European Union and multiple countries around the world. He is a fugitive of American justice with a $50 million reward, which I guess we saved $50 million. And
make sure.
Yeah, exactly. But
don't let anybody claim it. Nobody deserves it but us.
But I want to be clear about one thing. Nicolás Maduro had multiple opportunities to avoid this. He was provided multiple very, very, very generous offers and chose instead to act like a wild man, chose instead to play around. And the result is what we saw tonight. The other message here is the following. You have a guy, like many people around the world, they like to play games. You have a guy who decides he's going to invite Iran into his country, is going to, do the confiscation of American oil companies, is going to flood our country with gang members, is going to take Americans prisoner and try to hold them for hostage and trade them like he was able to do with the Biden administration. Basically likes to play games all this time and thinks nothing's going to happen. And I hope what people now understand is that we have a president. The 47th president of the United States is not a game player. When he tells you that he's going to do something, when tells you he's going to address a problem, he means it. He actions it. I can tell you, I've watched this process now for 14, 15 years, been around it. Everybody talks. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. When I get there, we're going to do this. We're going to take. This is a president of action. Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out. And now, if you don't know, now you know. Because this is the way it's going to play out. And I think people need to understand that this is not a president that just talks and does letters and press conferences. And, if he says he's serious about something, he means it. And this is something that was a direct threat to the national interest of the United States. And the president addressed it. There's a president of peace, by the way. I told you what I just said earlier. This guy had multiple opportunities to find his way somewhere else and figure out another. He could have been living somewhere else right now, very happy. But instead, he wanted to play big boy. And so now, he's got other sets of problems on his hands. And but I think the message here should be for the world. Look, the president doesn't go out looking for people to pick fights with. He's not generally wants to get along with everybody. We'll talk and meet with anybody, but don't play games. Don't play games with this president's in office, because it's not going to turn out well. And so I hope that I guess that lesson was learned last night, and we hope it'll be instructive moving forward.
Is that a message for you, Mr. President?
Please. Well, we're going to be running it with a group, and we're going to make sure it's run properly. We're going to rebuild the oil infrastructure, which will cost billions of dollars. It'll be paid for by the oil companies directly. They will be reimbursed for what they're doing, but that's going to be paid. And we're going to get the oil flowing the way it should be. As you know, it was just a minor flow. It was actually a minor flow for what they have. But we're going to run it properly, and we're going to make sure the people of Venezuela are taken care of. We're going to make sure the people that were forced out of Venezuela by this thug are also taken care of.
President, does the U.S. running the country mean that U.S. troops will be on the ground? How will that work?
Well, they always say boots on the ground. Oh, so we're not afraid of boots on the ground if we have to have. We had boots on the ground last night at a very high level, actually. We're not afraid of it. We don't mind saying it. But we're going to make sure that that country is run properly. We're not doing this in vain. This is a very dangerous attack. This is an attack that could have gone very, very badly. Could have gone very badly. We could have lost a lot of people last night. We could have lost a lot of dignity. We could have lost a lot of equipment. The equipment is less important, but we could have lost a lot. And we're going to make sure that this is proper. We're there now. We're ready to go again if we have to. We're going to run the country right. It's going to be run very judiciously, very fairly. It's going to make a lot of money. We're going to give money to the people. We're going to reimburse people that were taken advantage of. We're going to take care of everybody. It's very important. We couldn't let them get away with it. They stole our oil. We built that whole industry there, and they just took it over like we were nothing. And we had a president that decided not to do anything about it. So we did something about it. We're late, but we did something about it. Yeah, please.
Mechanism by which you're going to run the country? Are you going to designate a U.S. official to coordinate?
It's all being done right now. We're designating people. We're talking to people. We're designating various people, and we're going to let you know who those people are.
Would run Venezuela?
Well, it's largely going to be for a period of time. The people that are standing right behind me, we're going to be running it. We're going to be bringing it back. It's a dead. I talk about a dead country. A year and a half ago, we were a dead country. Now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're a country doing better than any country anywhere in the world. And it required leadership. Venezuela has a lot of bad people in there, a lot of bad people that shouldn't be leading. We're not going to take a chance that one of those people take over for Maduro. So you can look at, and others, we have fantastic people, including people in the military. So we're going to have a group of people running it until such time as it can be put back on track, make a lot of money for the people, and give people a great way of life, and also reimbursement for people in our country that were forced out of Venezuela.
Rubio would be.
You said earlier today that you weren't going to back Machado to come back and be the opposition leader in your Fox and Friends interview. And then you also mentioned the vice president of Venezuela. Are you going to work with the vice president of Venezuela, or how do you foresee the relationship
Well,
going?
I understand she was just sworn in. but she was, as you know, picked by Maduro. So Marco's working on that directly. He just had a conversation with her, and she's essentially willing to do what we think is necessary to make Venezuela great again. Very simple.
Mr. President, Colombian President Gustavo Petro, a couple weeks ago, he said he's got to watch his ass. And today he said he's not concerned about anything happening to him in the aftermath of this operation. So just what are your messages
Well, he has cocaine mills. He has factories where he makes cocaine. And yeah, I think I stick by my first statement. He's making cocaine. They're sending it into the United States. So he does have to watch his ass.
Mr. President, did you notify any members of Congress in advance?
Marco, do you want to talk about that? Because you were involved.
Sure. We call members of Congress immediately after. This was not the kind of mission that you can do congressional notification on. It was a trigger-based mission in which conditions had to be met night after night. We watched and monitored that for a number of days. So it's just simply not the kind of mission you can call people and say, hey, we may do this at some point in the next 15 days. But it's largely a law enforcement function. Remember, at the end of the day, at its core, this was an arrest of 2 indicted fugitives of American justice, and the Department of War supported the Department of Justice in that job. Now, there are broader policy implications here, but it's just not the kind of mission that you can pre-notify because it endangers the mission.
Plus, if I could add one thing to that, Congress has a tendency to leak. This would not be good. If they leaked, General, I think it would have been maybe a very different result. But I have to say, they knew we were coming at some point, a lot of ships out there. They sort of knew we were coming. We went there. But Congress will leak, and we don't want leakers.
People to watch this all play out live. What was Maduro doing when the U.S. forces entered what I assume would be his home? And also, was there any point where the U.S. was considering if Maduro pushed back or resisted killing Maduro?
It could have happened. It could have happened. He was trying to get into a safe place. You know what a safe place is, all steel. And he wasn't able to make it to the door because our guys were so fast. They went through the opposition so fast. And there was a lot of opposition. People were wondering, do we get them by surprise? Sort of surprised, but they were waiting for something. It was a lot of opposition. There was a lot of gunfire. You saw some of it today. But he was trying to get to a safe place, which wasn't safe because we would have had the door blown up in about 47 seconds, they say on average, regardless of how thick the steel was. It was a very thick door. It was a very heavy door, but he was unable to get to that door. He made it to the door. He was unable to close it. Go ahead, finish.
To be in the time being right now, do you know his exact
Well,
whereabouts?
eventually, ultimately, in the near future, he's going to be brought to New York.
And where is he going to be held? Where is he going to be held in New York? Do you know?
That's going to be up to the officials that do these.
All right. So I'm going to pull this down for now. It appears that the brunt of the questions, that was the big one right at the end. President Trump confirming that a massive gunfight unfolded in the compound once Maduro got up, tried to get to the bunker. The bunker door was open. Maduro's bodyguards tried to get the door shut. We would have blown it in less than a minute, even if he had. And that a massive gunfight blowing through Maduro's bodyguards happened almost immediately, showing you the speed of the tier 1 operators on the ground, stepping up, getting it done. So that's what we have for the press conference, for the meat of the press conference. And we have a lot to take away from there. Number one, President Trump announcing that the United States government will now run Venezuela in the transition period as the Maduro regime has fallen. But while that is going on, the Venezuelan loyalists to Maduro are still pledging to take to the streets to fight. They also confirmed that we had guys on the ground long before the strikes happened. So we had Tier 1 and CIA there ready to rock and roll. We know F-22s, F-35s, B-1 bombers, and other the FE-18 all used in the attack. So we rolled out everything we had. We hammered these dudes. The Delta Force team hit the ground, opened fire. There was a helicopter that was clipped but not destroyed, was able to fly out, and then they had Maduro ready to go. Handcuffed, zip-tied, blindfolded, didn't make it to the bunker. And as President Trump said, wouldn't even have mattered if he had made it to the bunker, because at the end of the day, they would have blown that door wide open, even if they had made it to the bunker. So that is where we are at. This is a crazy situation, And I want to take some credit here. I made a video back in October explaining how Delta Force would be used with air cover, going in, hitting targets, Delta Force coming in under the radar to get the job done. And now that is exactly what has happened. So get your chats and I'm going to take your questions. If you have questions about Venezuela, please let me know. And I'm going to throw some stuff on the screen. So we got $5 for MAGA. Thank you very much. $5 from Tony A2Bet. Just confirmed what I said about a power vacuum. So yes, the United States of America will control the scene now. We are going to be in control in Venezuela. We are going to run the show. That is how it is going to work out. I guess this is a joke. I don't really know what it means. Congress will leak like an Adam Schiff. Yes, indeed, they will. David called it. I did call it. So I'm very happy with that. I got my prediction 100% correct, which was pretty neat, to be honest with y'all. All right, get your questions in after watching Trump's press conference. What are your questions? Let me know. I'm going to answer them to the best of my ability. You called it, my friend. Thank you. I did. Yes, you did. Thank you. All right. So happy watching this from Scotland. Well done, USA Delta Force team. Dude, Delta Force is unbelievably epic. Like, this is next level shit. This is crazy what they just pulled off. And let it be known, they gave Maduro every chance to leave. Every chance to leave. So he didn't want to leave. Maduro didn't want to leave, and now he is paying the price. So what do we got here? I'm a viewer for life. Awesome job, boss. Thank you very much. God bless our country and president. Delta Force rocks. I wonder what space elements were utilized. I'm sure there were some. Great job, Deltas. No question about it. Delta absolutely got out there and put in work. Such badass MFers. FAFO. Thank you, Delta Force. You were right, David. Great reporting. He didn't want to leave, so we removed him physically. Yep. All right, guys. I have got to. This is huge. I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. Get all your last super chats in. Get all your stuff in. I've got 10 minutes. Then I've got to hit to the next thing. All right. I'm going to get to your questions here. If you got a question, let me know. Trump is saying we are going to talk about Cuba next. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. We might be going into Cuba next. I'm going to put this up on the screen.
It's very important that we protect it. We need that for ourselves. We need that for the world. And we want to make sure we can protect it. Yes, sir. Please, go ahead.
Is there a message here for Cuba and Diaz-Canel?
Well, Cuba is an interesting case. Cuba is, not doing very well right now. That system has not been a very good one for Cuba. The people there have suffered for many, many years. And I think Cuba is going to be something we'll end up talking about because Cuba is a failing nation right now, very badly failing nation. And we want to help the people. It's very similar in the sense that we want to help the people in Cuba, but we want to also help the people that were forced out of Cuba and living in this country. Do you want to say something about that, Marco, please?
Well, I mean, I just gave you a statement a few minutes ago about, when the president speaks, you should take him seriously. So suffice it to say, Cuba is a disaster. It's run by incompetent, senile men, and in some cases, not senile, but incompetent nonetheless. It has no economy. It's in total collapse. And by the way, they were, all of the guards that helped protect Maduro. This is well known. Their whole spy agency, all that were full of Cubans. I mean, it's amazing. This poor island took over Venezuela in some cases. One of the biggest problems the Venezuelans have is they have to declare independence from Cuba that tried to basically colonize it from a security standpoint. So, yeah, look, if I lived in Havana and I was in the government, I'd be concerned, at least a little bit. Well, the president already announced a week ago that anything that's sanctioned, it's sanctioned oil, it's not going to be allowed to get there. So that's a pre-existing.
The answer is yes.
So President Trump confirming right there, we might be going into Cuba next. We are taking out anyone in our hemisphere that is an enemy of the United States. You are now on notice. Maduro in the Venezuelan dictatorship talked shit nonstop. He's now, let me put this back on the screen. How'd that end for him? He's now in a sweatsuit, zip ties, blindfolded with headphones on. Not headphones, sorry, ear protection. So, yeah, didn't end well. So now the Cubans better be pretty worried about what's coming for them. Someone sent $5. BQN airport with massive military movement. Maduro has to be there. I don't think he is there. They said they put him on the Iwo Jima and they're flying him to the United States. Those are the backups. The backup U.S. military forces likely coming in. All right, what do we got? I'm glad I was able to get through this with how sick I am. I almost had to punch out early because I was coughing so bad, but we got through it. Let's go get Putin the same way. I don't think that's going to happen. He's got nukes. Makes it a little different. The liberation of Cuba is long overdue. Certainly is. Yeah, we're the big three alliances of Maduro now. Nobody came to his help. Nobody came to help him. No one came to his aid. Done well, David. Thank you very much. Guys, you know what? A lot of people said I was going to be wrong. They said it would never happen. They said we would never go in. And I said, we're absolutely 100% going in. 100% going in. I hope you guys listen. All right, what else do we got here? Appreciate you pushing through. I'm doing my best. All right, let's see what the latest updates are. See what we got. I'm looking for the updates as they're coming in. This is honestly maybe the coolest raid we've ever seen. Should we do a poll on that real quick? Is this? All right, I just did a poll. Is this cooler than the Iran strikes? I think this is honestly cooler than the Iran strikes. I really do. This is, I mean, we didn't have to land men on the ground in Iran. We flew in the strike package, bombed the facilities, turned around and flew out. We had to put tier 1 operators on the ground in Venezuela to get this done. Hold on here. The Ayatollah in Iran had better watch his rear. Absolutely. So far, 87% of you say this is cooler than the strikes on Iran. I got to agree with that. Bombers. So some of you are saying Iran was cooler. Yeah, for a movie, dude, the movie about this is going to be incredible. A movie about this is going to be absolutely insane. Also, do we think the helicopters launched from the ghost ship? Did they launch from the Ocean Trader? They must have launched to the Ocean Trader, right? Oh, the movie is going to be insane. And thank you guys for hanging out with me today. It means a lot for you guys to be here. All right, last chance to get your super chats and questions in. I'm going to answer them. And then I got to go. I got a source call. Someone's going to be giving me a call with information about what happened, and I will update you guys accordingly. Is someone being inappropriate? And is this guy an idiot? If you do something dumb, you're gonna get banned from the channel. It's just that simple. Hey guys, I thank you guys for hanging out with me. You guys are what make this fun. You guys are what make this enjoyable. So thank you very much for that. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, guys, that is the live stream for the strikes of Maduro. We will continue to update you when I have more information. I got to rest a little bit. I might need to take a nap. It's a miracle I was able to get through this without coughing like crazy, but this is where we are at. Thank you so, so much for joining me. It means the world to me. You guys are amazing. Lot of stuff is coming up, but hey, thank you all. Best people on YouTube. I'll see you all next time. I'm going to go rest up. Probably will drop a video later today with more updates as we have them. Venezuela is free. It is a new era, and I'm glad to have enjoyed it with all of you. I'll see you next time.